Voltaire, born François-Marie Arouet on November 21st, 1694, in Paris, was one of the most influential philosophers of the Enlightenment. His sharp wit, bold critiques of established institutions, and unwavering advocacy for freedom of thought made him both revered and reviled. Over the course of his life, Voltaire's defiance of authority led to imprisonment, exile, and enduring fame. From a young age, Voltaire demonstrated a natural talent for writing. Educated by Jesuits, he excelled in literature and developed a love for the classics. However, his irreverent humor and disdain for dogma set him on a collision course with the powerful. By the time he reached his 20s, Voltaire had already earned a reputation as a provocateur, writing satirical verses that mocked the French aristocracy. In 1717, Voltaire was imprisoned in the infamous Bastille for the first time. His crime? A poem insinuating that the regent, Philippe II, Duke of Orléans, had an incestuous relationship with his daughter. Though the authorship was uncertain, Voltaire's reputation as a satirist made him a suspect. During his 11-month imprisonment, he wrote his first major play, Oedipe, which launched his literary career upon his release. Despite his initial success, Voltaire's penchant for controversy continued to invite trouble. In 1726, after a quarrel with the powerful Chevalier de Rohan, Voltaire was again arrested. This time he chose exile over imprisonment. He fled to England, where he immersed himself in the ideas of English philosophers like John Locke and Isaac Newton. His time in England profoundly influenced his thinking. He admired the relative freedom of speech, constitutional monarchy, and scientific advancements. Upon returning to France, he published Letters Concerning the English Nation, 1734, which praised English society while criticizing French absolutism and the Catholic Church. The book was banned, and authorities issued a warrant for Voltaire's arrest, forcing him to flee once more. Throughout his life, Voltaire's works were a rallying cry for reason and justice. He used his pen as a weapon against tyranny, superstition, and inequality, often at great personal risk. One of his most famous quotes, "I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it," embodies his commitment to free expression. Voltaire's relentless critique of the church, monarchy, and judicial corruption often brought him into conflict with the powerful. Despite numerous imprisonments and exiles, he continued to write plays, essays, and pamphlets that exposed societal injustices. His advocacy for civil liberties, particularly in cases like the wrongful execution of Jean Calas, cemented his reputation as a champion of human rights. In 1759, he published Candide, a satirical novella that mocked the optimism of the time and underscored the cruelty and folly of the world. By the end of his life, Voltaire had become a symbol of the Enlightenment. When he returned to Paris in 1778 after years of self-imposed exile in Ferney, he was hailed as a hero. Voltaire died shortly thereafter, but his legacy endured. Imprisonment and exile may have sought to silence Voltaire, but they only fueled his resolve. Through his incisive critiques, he not only challenged the established order, but also laid the groundwork for the revolutionary changes that would reshape France and the world.